Well, my name is Chad. I'm a veteran, and I'm here with Homeward for Heroes for the last 8 or 9 days or something like that. Let's see, I originally got in touch with Homeward actually several years ago. I honestly can't remember how. I think it was through seeing something on a veterans page on Facebook with off-road type stuff. And that was something I was really interested in. I was looking for an off-road group to be a part of, not necessarily a hardcore off-road, but getting outside and going camping and doing stuff like that. And then so I got in touch with Homeward, with one of the guys, with Mason, and they invited me out to a trek with them, a couple of day camping trip. I didn't really feel super comfortable at the moment, and so they were passing through my town, and we met up for a couple hours while they were fueling up with gas and had some introductions. And then we kept in touch from then on out. Since then I had gone through a couple of medical situations, and so Mason was keeping in touch with me through that. I am a veteran of 8 years and a disabled veteran with a couple of brain surgeries. And Mason and Dan and Laura have been really great keeping in touch with me to make sure that I'm doing okay through that situation. And then so here we are, fast forward a few more years, and they asked if I wanted to go on a trek, and of course I said yes. I was finally in a situation where I was able to. And I didn't really know what to expect. I knew that we were going to go over some things with PTSD, which is what they really kind of help with. And I knew that we were going to have some general discussions and see some really cool places and do a bunch of camping. But I didn't really know or understand what the details of the situation was going to be. And it was phenomenal. I mean, this is probably one of the best things that I have done, best group of people that I've hung out with in a very long time. A lot of great discussions were had, a lot of hard discussions were had, but some of the stuff that Dan and Laura and Mason and the other staff discussed with us was excellent, really great in helping us through some of our problems, and this goes for the whole team, not just myself. In the process, we all became family, more or less. People that a couple of people on the camp out that I knew, several people that I've never met before, but the environment that Dan, Laura, Mason, and the other staff made through this trip basically took a group of people that didn't know each other at all to the best of friends in the matter of minutes, really. From our first night camping out, it was suddenly a very comfortable situation. That's something that's really important to me and really special to me, because I rarely feel like I'm in a good, comfortable situation, even among friends that I've known for quite a while. And I think that there's something special there, because most of us are veterans. A few folks are first responders, but all of us have gone through some type of event that is similar, some type of traumatic situation or multiple situations. And so through this last week, this last 8 or 9 days, all of us, including myself, have really learned a little bit more about ourselves, a little bit more about the problems that we face individually, as well as some of the problems that others are experiencing, and also how to deal with those. And that's really great. It doesn't mean that the problem's gone, but it definitely means that I'm better able to deal with the symptoms from some of the problems that I do have. And that's wonderful for helping to make a little better life, really. A couple of things that were really beneficial to me personally through this was the sharing of personal stories from each of the staff members. that really helped, and it really hit home, because it put the situation into a different light, that it's not just those of us that are on the trek that are dealing with a variety of issues, but also seeing that the staff members have had their own struggles and their own issues that they have gone through. And so knowing that it just changes the situation. It just changes the comfort level of the situation for people to be able to share and to be able to understand that the staff members actually get it. And that was one of the biggest things for me about this group, is that everybody gets it. A person can talk with, mental health counselors all they want, and some of them are great, but it's a totally different situation when you're around other people who have also gone to combat, or other people who have also seen some very difficult things, first responders, because they just understand something that the general public, they just don't get. And I think that really is the key component of what brought us together, and the key component, at least for me, of what helped me to understand what it was that Dan and Laura and the staff were trying to get across. They handed us out some really awesome booklets with some things that we could essentially journal, answer a couple of questions, and they really to spark our thought process, to get us to think about some of the difficulties that we face, and then put them in a different perspective, and then they wrapped it up. They wrapped up this whole program with a really awesome evening to essentially allow us to get rid of whatever it is that is holding us back. And again, that's another key component that I think is really important through this process, because at the end of the day, you have to be willing to get rid of your problems, more or less. And then, of course, we got to see some really awesome places in throughout the week too. We saw some ghost towns. We went on a couple of really awesome scenic drives. Saw some places that I've been wanting to see for a very long time, and of course, other folks that are from out of state. Saw some just wonderful, beautiful flowers and mountains, and then kind of putting us in that convoy scenario, which I think a lot of people really enjoyed, because it brought back some memories, and it brought back some fond memories in some cases, and it just continued to build that cohesion. So now, we have a group of people that we're all comfortable with, and we can all help each other. So it's not like this whole week is just coming to an end. We can call on each other as we continue through our struggles, to support each other, or even just to say, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Let's go out for a camping trip. And that's something that's really awesome. That's something that you don't get a lot of that outside of groups like this.